more relatives reached out, begging her to return and say goodbye to her father. Even neighbors she hadn't spoken to in years called her, urging her to come. "He's on his deathbed," they said. "You cannot abandon him now." Each call felt like a weight pressing down on her chest. Ezinne confided in Mrs. Abraham, who reminded her of the danger she was in. "Remember what the pastor told you. Don't let your guilt or pity blind you to the truth. He never cared for you before, so why now?" As Ezinne wrestled with her emotions, she noticed something remarkable. Her stomach, which had been swollen for so many years, was slowly shrinking. Day by day, the bulge that had once caused her so much shame and pain began to recede. It was subtle at first, but as her stomach grew smaller, she heard strange rumors from the village. Her father's stomach, once flat, had begun to swell grotesquely. The more Ezinne healed, the sicker he became. Word spread through the village that something unnatural was happening to Ezinne's father. He had grown weak, his body bloated and distended, and his health was failing rapidly. The villagers whispered that it was a punishment from the gods, that the sins he had committed were finally catching up to him. Unable to hide the truth any longer, Ezinne's father made a shocking confession on his deathbed. Surrounded by villagers, he revealed the dark secrets he had kept hidden for so long. He admitted that he had been involved in powerful witchcraft, using his own children as pawns to extend his life and sustain his dark powers. He confessed that he had cursed Ezinne and her brothers, sacrificing their happiness, success, and potential so that he could thrive. "I killed their mother," he admitted with a voice weak from pain. "She found out the truth and I silenced her to keep my power. And I would have taken Ezinne's life too if she had come to see me." The villagers were horrified. Some wept while others recoiled in disgust. The man they had known as a simple farmer had been living a double life, dabbling in dark magic and causing untold suffering to his own family. With his final breath, Ezinne's father died, leaving behind a legacy of pain, betrayal, and darkness. The curse he had placed on his children lifted as his life ended. His swollen belly deflated, and the air around the village seemed to clear, as if a heavy shadow had been lifted from the land. Back in Lagos, Ezinne felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over her. Though she had not seen her father face to face, she knew in her heart that the battle was over. The dark cloud that hung over her life for so long was finally gone. Her stomach had returned to its normal size, and the energy that had been drained from her for years was slowly coming back. Soon after her father's death, Ezinne's life began to change in ways she could never have imagined. Opportunities that had once been closed to her suddenly opened up. She was offered a high-paying job at a multinational company, a position that aligned perfectly with her academic qualifications. Her modeling career, which had been derailed by her condition, began to revive as agencies reached out to her with new contracts. The same people who had once whispered behind her back were now singing her praises. Ezinne's brothers, too, began to experience a turnaround in their lives. Jobs they had struggled to secure for years suddenly became available, and their financial burdens lightened. The family, once cursed and broken, was finally healing. Though the scars of the past remained, Ezinne had found peace. She continued to attend Mrs. Abraham's church, praying and giving thanks for the strength that had carried her through the darkest times of her life. She had learned that true power did not come from wealth, beauty, or success, but from faith, resilience, and the unwavering belief that good would triumph over evil. Ezinne's journey had been one of pain, betrayal, and unimaginable hardship, but through it all, she had found the strength to fight back, not with weapons of anger, but with prayer and faith. The power of prayer had revealed the dark forces at play in her life, and it had given her the tools to defeat them. The process of breaking the curse had not been easy. Each night, as she knelt by her bed and prayed, Ezinne had felt the weight of the battle she was fighting. The midnight prayers had been a spiritual warfare, a battle against forces she could not see but could feel closing in on her. She had prayed with her whole heart, knowing that her life and the lives of her brothers depended on her faith. In the end, it was not the wizardry of her father that won, but the power of prayer and the strength of her spirit. She had faced darkness and emerged victorious, a testament to the unshakable power of faith. As Ezinne stood at the edge of her new life, she looked back on the trials she had endured with a mixture of sadness and gratitude. She had lost much: her mother, her innocence, her faith in the people she had once trusted. She had gained something far more valuable: the knowledge that no matter how dark the night, the dawn would always come. With her father's dark legacy behind her, Ezinne was ready to step into the future. She had found her strength, and now nothing could stop her from achieving her dreams.